Hello everybody, Senior Engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about the CRISPR salad. This is an article on wired.com, and I want to talk about all of it here in this video. And before we do that, I do want to mention what a rainy weekend here in Toronto. I think it's raining across different regions here in the northern side of North America, specifically, of course, in Canada. I think in Montreal it's raining. It's rainy. It's like bluey sky. I think it was really cold, like towards the end of this week, for mid end of May. I mean, I find it really cold. Climate change is real, guys. This is no joke. I mean, this is real. This is going to be a real problem in the upcoming decades. I think we're no longer talking about like 40, 30 years. We're talking like 8 to 12 years. I mean, I just, the first thing is get Teslas out, get EVs out, replace them with oil cars, change the production lines, improve our agriculture, more efficient, less waste, better waste management. And that leads us to this topic, actually, CRISPR-edited salad. So a startup used gene editing to make mustard greens more appetizing to consumers. Next up, fruits. So a gene editing startup wants to help you eat healthy your salads. This month, North Carolina-based Pairwise is rolling out a new type of mustard greens engineered to make it less bitter than the original plant. The vegetable is the first CRISPR-edited food to hit the US market. Mustard greens are packed with vitamins and minerals, but have a strong peppery flavor when eaten raw. To make them more palatable, they're usually cooked. Pairwise wanted to retain health benefits of mustard greens, but make them tastier to the average shopper. So scientists at the company used the DNA editing tool CRISPR to remove a gene responsible for their pungency. Is that how you say pungency? The company hopes consumers will opt for its greens over less nutritious ones like iceberg and butter lettuce. We basically created a new category of salad, said the co-founder of CEO of Pairwise, Tom Adams. The greens will be initially available in selected restaurants and other outlets in Minneapolis, St. Paul region, St. Louis, Springfield, Massachusetts. The company's plans to start stocking greens in grocery stores this summer, likely in the Pacific Northwest first. A naturally occurring part of the bacteria's immune system, CRISPR was first harnessed as an editing tool in 2012. Okay, so we're going to skip this part here. CRISPR has yet to end world hunger, but in the short term, it may give consumers more variety that they eat. Pairwise's goal is to make the already health foods more convenient and enjoyable. Beyond mustard green, the companies are just trying to improve. Also trying to improve fruits. It's using CRISPR to develop seedless blackberries and pitless cherries. That's actually pretty good. Our lifestyle needs are evolving. We're becoming more aware of our nutrition deficit. In 2019, only about 1 in 10 adults in the US met the daily recommended intake of fruits and vegetables. Technically, the new mustard greens are a genetically modified organism, or GMO. In agriculture, GMOs are those made by adding genetic material from completely different species. Okay. Instead, CRISPR tweaks its own organism, own gene, or foreign DNA is added. One benefit of CRISPR is that it can achieve a new plant variety in a fraction of the time it takes to produce a new one through traditional breeding. It took Pairwise just 4 years to bring its mustard green to the market. It can take a decade or longer to bring out the desired characteristic through the centuries-old practice of cross-breeding. All right, so the mustard greens aren't the first CRISPR food to be launched commercially. In 2021, Tokyo firm introduced a CRISPR-edited tomato in Japan, which actually we covered in this channel in 2021. A Minnesota firm came out with a gene editing soybean oil in 2019, free of trans fat. It's not the first time we're editing, something that could be eaten in the world that's available commercially, right? Okay, so this is really good, guys. So a couple things, right? First, I think this should come to no surprise. This should come to no surprise for a couple of reasons, right? First, we know the power of CRISPR. We know the CRISPR is not just for human therapeutics. It could be extremely important for agriculture. In fact, I would argue that because of the point I just made earlier in this video about climate change, CRISPR has a space, has a place in the battle against climate change. It has a place, and in fact, I think it should have a place because of stories like these, right? GMOs are, extremely taxing on agriculture. I mean, when you start having these machines going through agriculture, spreading out all sorts of chemicals, you're not just affecting, just think about how much energy it takes. It's all about energy, right? How much energy it takes to run these machines, these processes. And you gotta remember, these products are shipped from one location to another. They're produced somewhere, so that's energy. It's not just about putting them on the plants or on the vegetable and the fruit, right? It's all the whole cycle to it, right? It's extremely harmful to the environment and extremely inefficient when you think about it. CRISPR comes in, edits its own plant's DNA, boom, you get what you see here with this, with what you see here, the mustard greens being more tasty and but being as nutritious, if not more, have all the health benefits, and then the average shopper can benefit, right? And obviously, it's going to be slightly more expensive, but that's the price of convenience, right? People pay for convenience all the time. I mean, instead of walking 10 minutes, people take an Uber, right? Instead of buying a whole watermelon, people buy watermelons that are already cut in a plastic, right? Obviously, that's going to be more expensive, but they don't care. It's convenient. It saves them time. And then ultimately, people will have disposable income. They're going to spend it on things they appreciate, things that they value. And in my opinion, if they love, this type of, I personally don't eat mustard greens, but if they do love mustard greens and they never really enjoyed the bitter taste, well, now they have something that can elevate their experience, right? And this is just one example. I don't want you guys to focus on this pairwise company specifically on this example. It's getting to think about other opportunities, right? Think about other fruits being more nutritious, being just better tasting, and it's a great move for where we are, right? This article was actually tweeted by Dr. Liu, who's very well known in the CRISPR space. So I'm really excited. I've always said many, many times in the past that it's very unfortunate companies like Caribou, who actually hold patents on agriculture when it comes to CRISPR, some forms of patents, that they've never really explored that further. And I understand human therapeutics is where, pardon the pun, the meat is at, right? That's where, the whole discussion is sort of boiling to. That's where the money is at, really. But that does not mean you can't, have a little team, or not just a little, like a significant team to explore the agriculture side of things. I think there's a business there. I think there's a business case there. I think there are opportunities. I mean, besides, in my opinion, human therapeutics tops everything. But the next to that is what people eat. I haven't read this book, but there's a book that I got recommended many times. It's a book about, I don't remember what it is, but it's about how important your what you eat matters, right? What you eat really defines your life, right? And actually, it makes an analogy of how your brain, you have a brain here, but then you have another type of brain, and that's on your belly, in your belly, right? That's your stomach. That's all the bacterias and all the things that are happening in your belly, right? That's your brain, the second brain, really, of the body, right? And if you don't treat that well, then other things are not going to go well. You'll be injured. You won't feel well. You won't sleep well. You won't be in full energy. And I think food matters, right? Agriculture matters, and then that relates to climate change, right? And again, I think it's a missed opportunity in my opinion. I've always said it, but then again, resources are limited. People have finite sense of focus. I mean, and plus, expertise may differ. You may be great at human therapeutics labs, but agriculture is a different beast, and we know this just by looking at jobs available. Just because you're good with handling plants and doing GMOs, whatever, does not mean you can just start going through human clinical trials, and vice versa, right? These are separate set of skills required, especially with understanding plants and everything. I remember in my bio course, I wish we had like a bio course to just focus on plants, right? I always found plants and vegetation fascinating. It's unfortunate they sort of bundle, human biology with plants and animal biology. And I understand, schools have finite resources, and the plan is not for you to become a plant expert or, someone who's gonna, potentially in the future edit plants. But with CRISPR and such tools, I think there's a need maybe for such training. I think people, world hunger, climate change, all of that. It's not just it's not just big companies doing things. You need these startups coming up. You need government funding. You need people invested, resourced with the right tools, right? And I think this is really going to be exciting, guys. This is really, really, really going to be exciting. I think it's a long play, but this is a great start. I just wanted to cover this article here because, like I said, this is one of those things that you gotta cover, right? This was released just a couple of days ago this year. I'm really excited to see what we have here this upcoming year, 2 years. I mean, I know the next few months is all about human therapeutics, but I'm really curious to see how it develops, CRISPR as a whole. Not so much about the specific companies. I mean, obviously, a lot of us are invested with some of those companies. We would love them to succeed in this market, especially in this market. But the technology itself is so fascinating, and you get to learn other things along it, right? You learn the inefficiencies of our agriculture system, GMOs. You see, the inefficiencies with alternative when it comes to human therapeutics. So, anyways, we'll end this video like this, guys. Hopefully, you guys appreciated this. As always, subscribe if you're not, like this video if you found value, and let me know, guys, what do you guys think about the first CRISPR edited salad in the US? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Sunday's video. Hopefully you're having a beautiful weather wherever you are and not a rainy one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.